Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, back to see if Wally and the Beeve can pull off another Bonnie and Clyde style killing spree in Sheltered. And clearly, I think in this scenario we can both agree that Wally is the Bonnie of this one, just, without the possible hybristophilia, which it has been fairly well argued that Bonnie may have suffered from, which is why she was so enamored of a murderous thug like Clyde Barrow. Wally, though, well, Wally, he just likes the thick, creamy copper tang of someone else's blood on his tongue, especially when licked from the tip of a knife. I mean, that's how we explain Wally's particular behavior. He's got no excuse like Bonnie did. Though, in Bonnie and Clyde's defense, I mean, at the rate with which Wally and the Beeve are murdering lately, they're gonna quickly surpass Bonnie and Clyde's little killing spree total any day now, which I guess sort of makes Bonnie and Clyde the Nickelback of spree killers. I should probably explain that. Okay, I have a theory when it comes to Nickelback, and in fact, it's more than a theory. I call it the Nickelback effect. Nickelback sings a song called This Is How You Remind Me, of course, the eponymous brilliant hit by the band, and by which brilliant, I mean thoroughly mediocre. But that's the thing about Nickelback. They're just mediocre enough to make you appreciate how good a good thing really is. If you're confused about, whether or not a song is truly epic, listen to Nickelback's This Is How You Remind Me, and then listen to that song. If by comparison the song you're listening to sounds fantastic compared to This Is How You Remind Me, then you have just experienced the Nickelback effect in effect. This Is How You Remind Me reminded you how good a really good thing was. It's like the McDonald's cheeseburger of music. It's the middle of the road, just good enough to be barely palatable. That's how Nickelback rolls. The McDonald's cheeseburger and Nickelback are one and the same in this particular analogy. You eat a McDonald's cheeseburger. It is not good. It is not necessarily terrible. It is, by definition, sort of the quintessence of a cheeseburger. Now, compare it to a burger from a good burger restaurant, or good-ish, maybe something a little more upscale, like a Red Robin. You're like, you know what? That McDonald's cheeseburger, by the way, yes, go talk to whoever this is. This McDonald's cheeseburger is what has made me appreciate the deliciousness of an actually fantastically crafted artisanal burger. It's like the Norman Rockwell painting that makes you realize just how amazing Georges Seurat's Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte is. And if you're wondering what that painting is, it's actually the painting that Cameron stares at in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And, given that I'm old and that this is YouTube and a Let's Play, if you're wondering what Ferris Bueller's Day Off is, it's the movie that Deadpool ripped off for the stinger at the end of the credits where he's in the bathrobe. That's what Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Anyway, Karen, you haven't seen many others recently out here. Of course you haven't, because Wally and Beaver killed most of them. Not surprising, is it? See, I mean, Ward Cleaver, geez, it's like he knows what's up. He's like, yeah, my murderous urchins of sons have been out here scouring the wastelands in search of victims. They've brought back more than a few bodies and a disturbing number of human ears threaded on a necklace. I gotta sit down at some point and have a talk with those little scamps. Little fatherly talk. Oh, you delightful little moppets, how you go out there and steal people's ears. I will take your food. And why don't I, in return, give you this old jar? You're not that interested in an old jar. How about water? And a sack of limestone. And a pipe. And a jar. You know what? How about you just keep your food? Or alternatively, Karen, I should have just beaten you to death with this rock. Didn't tempt you with your wares, you'll be back. Karen, that sound... I don't want to slut shame you, girl, but that sounded a little prostitute. It's like, you're out there and you're wandering around the world just doing your thing. Working girl comes by and propositions you, and you're like, no, thank you, Mrs. Prostitute. I'm not interested in your goods and or services. And she's like, oh, you'll be back. That's what Karen just gave us right there. She gave us sort of the classic hooker line. Hey, June, get in the shower. Everybody taking showers while it's raining. We got to make hay while the sun shines here. George, you need to get your ass in the shower as well. Laura, I want you to fix the shower while June is taking it. Also, George, you stay away from the shower. You're not going to be peeping at the beautiful June Cleaver. The only person who peeps at June in the shower, that's my job. Horn in on my action, you scum. I'll kick you right out of this shelter, George. I'll send you out into the wasteland to die. Don't think I won't do it. Because I will do it, and in fact, I'm probably absolutely going to do it. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? Hey, man, speaking of Bonnies from Bonnie and Clyde, there's our Bonnie right there. Where's Clyde, Bonnie? Dead? Oh, shot to death, riddled with bullets in a car? Yeah, well, that'll happen when you go on a murderous killing spree. Want to come down and watch Beaver take a dump? I mean, I got dibs on watching June in the shower, but if you want to watch Beaver take a dump, you're welcome to do that. Anybody else need a shower? I mean, seriously, I will get people out of bed in order to go take a shower. Yeah, get George, get your dumb, lazy ass out of bed, in the shower. Someone's at the intercom. All right, what do you want? Yes, I see you, Elizabeth. Doing all right for yourself. Probably got a huge storeroom full of supplies. I'm sure we can strike a trade, but I ain't letting you have any of my stuff cheap. Also sounds vaguely prostitutish, Elizabeth. Ah, I got the good stuff right here, yo, but I ain't letting you have any of it cheap. You got to earn this, son. I don't know why that's where my brain takes things, but oh, you have plastic. I will give you my left arm and all of Laura's blood for your plastic. Also, your plastic is going to cost us next to nothing. Give me this leather. You have cordite that I can use to make explosives, but I would really rather have nails. I also wouldn't mind having your... You know what? Give me your food, too. We have so much fuel. Can I afford to trade away some fuel? I mean, I'm tempted to try and trade away some fuel, but we also have a lot of books, which I know trade pretty well, as do teddy bears, which we also have quite a few of. What else have we got that we can kind of spare? We have 25 hunks of rope. Man, I've really been going kind of crazy with the rope, haven't I? Bandages. I mean, we have so many screwdrivers. How much is a screwdriver worth? Pretty good. There's no way I'm trading you guns, rifles, ammos, bullets, or my one Brick Tamlin-style grenade. So give me that back. I'm tempted to just pay her in water. It's raining right now. Our water supplies are going to go up. What's desperate meat? You seriously? Okay. Yeah. I'm down with that. How about man, this chick out in the wilderness, she's willing to trade food rations, legitimate food, straight up. She's like, oh, the sweet gamey tang of human flesh? Yeah, I'm down with that. Let's trade that shit right away. So do we fill up the rest with water? I think the answer is yes, we do. You know what? Throw one in here to try and, like, even this out. Can you do something to make this an even 60? Yes, give me one length of pipe. You got it. I'll keep that under the bed with my other lengths of pipe. Danger-esque. Yeah, I want to trade. Do it. There we go. All right, so we just got a butt ton of food. We did pretty well there. And you know what? We may have gotten enough plastic there to build some more water butts. We'll take that back as soon as Ward is done approaching these strangers. A small factory. Is this girl going to proposition us to? Apparently it's hooker day out in the wasteland. I'm not trying to shame any sex workers. Hey, you do what you do. That's fine. Everybody needs a hobby. Everybody needs a job. If you can make a little scratch on the side, as long as you're cool with it and everybody involved is consensual, don't mind a change in the hands. I don't see any reason for Perfidious Pete to have an opinion. I'm just saying you got a stereotypically sort of attitude kind of thing that you adopt. You have a persona, and maybe that's what you need to defend yourself from a rigorous life on the streets, and I'm not trying to judge you. I'm just making an observational comment on the fact that you have a particular style of speech. I'm gonna bully her. Out here all alone, bad things could happen so easy. See, now this actually is like, I mean, this is an on the waterfront kind of confrontation. You really need to work on that scary face. She is not intimidated by your shit, Ward. It's not like you're your sons. Wally and the Beaver frighten people. You do not. This is still a lesson in... This young lady is a lesson in polite behavior. Now, I'm just going to have to sit you down and have a nice little talk with you while I smash your head in with this rock. Do I want to disarm or steal? I mean, she doesn't have a weapon. Let's not steal. Let's go. Okay, well, that's not good. All right. Ow. Ow. Okay, so Ward is uppercut and bleed. Okay, this is not good. Beat her head in with the rock, Ward. There you go, Ward. Oh, he's braiding her real good. All right, so admittedly, Joyce is not much in a fight. We could have her try and steal, but there. Oh. Oh, right in the noggin. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Oh, Angela, I kind of feel a little bad. Oh, she ran away. Ward, you are no Wally and you are no Beaver. I'm telling you, you let that woman escape. Your sons are going to be so disappointed. Do you know what? They're going to have to do a switcheroo. Wally and the Beaver are going to have to give you the old switcheroo on this one. They're going to have to sit you down and have a little son-to-father talk. Little son to father, heart to heart. They're gonna be like, now, Dad, when you're smashing a bitch's head in out in the wasteland, this is how you can't let her just run away. First thing you gotta do, Dad, you sever the hamstrings. This is the way it works, Pop. You gotta go for the hamstrings. Otherwise, she's just gonna flee. You can't let her go. How you gonna rack up your victims if they escape all the time? Jeez, Dad. Can we upgrade this thing? We're still missing one hinge. Ah, that's disappointing. All right, hey, June. Radio. We found a person in need. Should we help them? We're not really that I mean, House Cleaver's words are cruelly sharp, Joyce. You kind of need to come up. Hey, asswipe, you got my stuff. Well, Patrick, you're about to get your head smashed in with a rock. Sorry, who are you? Joyce, very dismissive. I like your attitude, Joyce. You got spunk, girl. Cut the crap and don't play smart with me. Give me my 15 rubber now, or things are gonna get real bad real fast. We don't have 50. Yeah, fuck you. I'm just gonna beat your head in with a rock. Never met you before, and you certainly don't scare me. You want to check that attitude? Boy, I'm Joyce. I don't put up with your shit, dog. Nobody double crosses you and gets away with it? Yeah, prepare to have your head smashed in with a rock. Nobody double crosses you and gets away with it, except the woman wielding a rock. You stole Ward's rock, you son of a bitch. Alright, well, Ward can still... Ow. Ward can still get fucking uppercut like a punk bitch. Meanwhile, Joyce... Ow. Alright, Patrick can fight a little bit. You know, he's got some moves. Let's grab our rock. Ward is once again rearmed. Joyce, go in for the kill, girl! Ow! Man, you're telegraphing that shot, Joyce. You're telegraphing it. You're making it too easy on him. He sees the rock coming. See, you got to come at it two hands like Ward. The double overhead smack, that's the way. It's sort of like the Captain Kirk patented axe handle blow maneuver. Patented Captain Kirk axe handle blow, by the way, is also a sexual position, which I heartily recommend you give a try. We're already carrying a bucket and a jar, I think. I mean, I'm carrying around old mannequin parts and an empty plastic bottle as well as a broken TV. Let's pick up... This is fine. We may eventually get to a level 4 workbench. Ward's going to pick up some strength, some dex, and some trauma, but only a little trauma. It's fine. Taking some wrist trauma from wielding that rock, I'm assuming. All right, hold on a second here. How's the old... We haven't checked the status of the bunker, really. Oxygen filter could use some repairs. Water filter likewise needs a little repair. Let's get somebody on that. Wally, take a suit. Beeve, you know what? Take a suit, because I'm sick of having you throwing up all over the goddamn floor in the bunker. June, I want you to make a new water butt. We do have enough plastic to do it, so let's get this out of the way. Laura, are you just standing around like an asshole? Yeah, clean shelter. Found something at this old church. Gas mask, rubber, nails. We're going to take this. I want the plastic. I want the food. We'll grab the food. All right, what are we getting rid of? Well, let's start with the garbage first. This old shirt, these mannequin chunks we probably don't need. I want the food. I want the plastic. Take the pipe, because I've got room for it. You got room for the pipe, Pete? Yeah, I always got room for the pipe. Get the gas mask. I want the rubber as well. What else do I want to get rid of? We have a lot of pipe back at the barracks. We also probably have as much limestone and sand and shit as we could really use. I would rather have rubber than that. Honestly, I would like to get this circuit board as well. Charcoal, we could use in an incinerator. Any recyclable, I will always discard in favor of pretty much everything else, since we don't have a tier 4 workbench yet and can't recycle. Alright, who's just standing around? Wally, get your ass out there. Fix that. Beef, put on the suit and stop your horking everywhere. If you puke inside the suit, you're going to drown in it. This is an important life lesson for you, Beaver. Check out the small police station. Beef, get up there and fix that shit. Laura, are you... Okay, you're cleaning up Beaver's vomit. That's fine. George, I want you to start doing just some general maintenance here, buddy. It's general maintenance George, because they both start with a G. I love sending Beaver out when he's got food poisoning to make him do something that's probably going to cause him to be violently sick inside that suit. Although, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's probably unspeakably rude for the next person who has to wear the radiation suit. Because, I mean, Beaver just yacked in it. That's gross. Be like, Pete, do I have to wear the suit that's all puked in? Could I have a suit that has not been vomited in? This is a pretty solid haul. So the water's gonna go. Probably the board. I mean, I want the shotgun and the crowbar. I also want the med kit and the rope quite badly. We already have one of those, so no reason to not pick up a spare. Now we get down to the nitty gritty. Alright, light bulb, you can go and become a med kit. Cordite, springs, these things I'm not hugely enthused about. Buckets, alright, I would rather have rope than buckets. I also want these nucks, though. So let's ditch the coal. The coal is useful if you have an incinerator, which I think we could build. It's an alternative power source. Nah, we'll let it go. We got enough fuel for now. Actually, we have enough fuel for, like, the immediate and distant future. What does it take to craft an incinerator? We could build one right now. We have everything we need, except it uses hinges, and I don't want to use hinges until I absolutely have to. Though it probably wouldn't hurt to have that rebuilt before the generator runs out of fuel. I mean, we're going to need that before we get to a situation where we don't have the generator anymore. So that's going to be a little bit of a decision time when to build the incinerator, when to sacrifice hinges. I don't think now is the time. If we could get to at least a level 3 workbench, then I might consider it. I definitely want that fuel. I definitely want that wool. So, pipes are gone. We got plenty of pipe, and pipe is real common. We're going to take the fuel. I really wish we didn't. Do I want to trade some of this stuff for one stack of wool? It's one piece of wool, Pete. Nah, it's not worth it. We'll leave the one piece of wool. George getting himself a nice shot of water. We should probably set up an expedition, too. George will go. Laura will go. All right, George and Laura, time for you to go out in the wasteland and die. Get ready for a little unprepared exploration. Man, George, you suck. Your strength is terrible. Your dex is bad. I guess we'll send Laura out with you, who, as I recall, is considerably better than you are. Never mind, I was going to say also shitty. Laura is actually awesome. She's courageous, which is fantastic, but she's also wasteful, which is not. 5 strength for Laura. Where do we want to send these guys? That's the question. I think we should send them to, like, points unknown and dangerous locations. I think we send them... Do we send them out in the deep woods? Yeah, I think we do. So we're going to do a little triangle maneuver here. That's a lot of water to use. What if we go here? No, we can't do that. It's too much. No. Pull that back. I mean, this should cost us effectively no extra water. That's 56 water, which is a ton. But it's a useful little junket. Man, if we send them out in the woods, though, Laura may not come back, because George ain't much of a partner. Yeah. Let's rescind this. Let's do something a little safer. Let's do this journey. It's also slightly less water, so I'm relatively comfortable with it. George, you have a 2 strength, which means you can use effectively none of our weapons, but I'm going to give you a rock. Gas mask? I don't think so, George. I don't like you that much. You're also not really good. I mean, your stats are straight up dog shit. So, yeah, George, guess what? You're rolling with just the rock. This is confirmed. Just a rock for George. Now, Laura is not shameful. We're going to give Laura a little better. She's not quite strong enough to use a knife. Or a pipe. Or a crowbar. Definitely not a chunk of rebar. But a rock is within her grasp. So we're going to equip that rock. We do give Laura a gas mask. Laura has earned the right to have a gas mask. I think, yeah. We really ought to make another satchel, too. All we need is one hinge, though, and then we can make backpacks instead of satchels. It's just such a better investment of our resources. I say we wait. So there goes a ton of water, but it is still raining. Let's hope our reserves can get restored and replenished so we don't all die of thirst. Check out that small house ward. And if we need to, we can always just shut off the shower. That's sort of the way we roll when things go. Well, it immediately stopped raining. Fantastic. Well, shower gets disabled then. How filthy is everyone? Let's hope not too filthy. No, you know what? We're actually okay. June, why don't you take a little nap here? Meanwhile, Wally and the Beeve can do some light maintenance around the old house. As Ward and, I don't even remember who's with him, Joyce, approach a bald-headed stranger named Sharon. Radiation's a bitch, isn't it, Sharon? Or is that like a stylistic choice for you? Or did you just dye your hair flesh-colored? Because now that I'm looking at you, Looks like your hair maybe dyed. No, you're definitely bald, girl. Like, bald as a fucking cue ball. Not even like a badass Furiosa sort of buzz cut. You're just straight up going full Lex Luthor. Let's bully her. You really need to work on that scary face. All right, well, you know what? It's still a lesson in progress, Ward. My face is a work in progress. A lot like your face is about to be, Sharon. Oh! Man, Joyce does not fuck around with her rock, man. She does not mess about. Here comes Ward. Thunk, thunk, and thunk. All right. Man, you let her get it. I'm telling you, Wally and the Beef have got to have a fucking sit down. Oh, she did not escape. Never mind. You dead, dog. Thunk. All right. So clearly Wally and the Beef's little sit down with their old dad had some positive. There's no room to transfer that item. Wait, what is this? Oh, it's an empty can of fuel. I thought it was a full can of fuel. All right, well, I'm not too worried about an empty gas can that's a recyclable or a sack of sand. Why would you have an empty gas can and a sack of sand unless you had started and then extinguished a fire? Little trauma for Joyce, a little trauma for Ward. We're spreading it around, some extra strength for Joyce. She's actually strong enough to properly use that rock now. Yeah, check out the small house. I mean, that's why we sent you out there. Yes, we want the food. Yes, we want the leather. Yes, we want the eraser. Everything else is a hearty no, although I would like to pick up those teddy bears. Wally and the Beef pick up a lot of stress when they're out on a murdering spree. You know what? I'm going to take 2 teddy bears instead of 1 fuse. Better trade. It's a better value proposition, it really is. It'd be really nice if day 34 featured some rain. Stumbled across a small house and looks like I might have some good loot. Well, you should probably check it out then. How's everything around the old homestead? Pretty solid. The Jenny needs a little work. The stove needs a little touching up. I think we'll have Wally and a Beaver get on that. Hey, Beav, why don't you go fix the old Jenny after you're done having a shot of water? Wally, you can fix the old stove. You know, I'm tempted to send Wally and the Beav out into the wilderness. They're just sort of accumulating downtime here. Wally, Beaver, you're going to drink that water. You're just going to puke it up, man. You're wasting my water. See? God damn it. You son of a bitch, Beaver. What did I tell you? This is why June is not allowed to sleep. Because Wally and the Beaver will do something stupid. Don't drink water, Beaver. You're sick. You're gonna puke. You're puke it out. He's like, oh, I'm gonna drinking it, Mom. I don't care. You can tell me I'm not gonna puke. I know what I'm capable of. Gonna bully you. Man, nobody is intimidated by us ever. Well, let's fucking fight it out then. If you will not be intimidated by me, Dennis, I will smash your face in with a rock. Ow! Alright, well, Dennis has got a shot. Oh! Holy crap, Joyce is getting ruined. Ward, bring the rock to bear, man. There you go. You know what we could say? You could say, we rocked his world. I mean, you could say it. It wouldn't fucking be funny at all. Man, nice 20 damage shot there at the end. We'll take your food. I'm not taking your switch, but I will take that nail. You know what, Dennis? You were worth beating to death. I'm glad I murdered you. I'm glad you're dead. A little more trauma for Joyce, which is unfortunate, but what are the odds Joyce doesn't come back from this expedition with massive radiation poisoning? I mean, you gotta remember, we did send her out without a gas mask in like a 60-day journey. Not that worried about the matches, actually. Empty petrol can, a match, a fuse. Motors are tempting. Not that tempting, though. 2 motors or 1 circuit board? 2 motors is better than 1 circuit board. I've decided. This is just, I mean, that's the Perfidious peak conversion ratio. 2 motors is better than 1 circuit board. You know what, Beaver? If you're going to be vomiting all over the house, I'm tired of having your mother pick up after you. It's not fair to June to make her pick up and clean up your mess all the time. You clean up your own vomit, Beaver. If you're going to puke on the floor and not listen to me when I tell you not to waste water by drinking it, you know what? You're cleaning up the mess, Beaver. It's your responsibility. It's time we sat down, Beaver, and had a little frank discussion about responsibility. Everybody has it, Beaver. It's a tough road, but you're growing up. You're getting older, son. You've got to learn that sometimes there are things in life, even though you don't want to do them, that just have to be done. Like not puking on the floor. Why will Beaver not vomit in the toilet? He knows he's sick. Why don't you come over here? We have a makeshift toilet. Puke in there, you jerk. Want to talk? Well, you should probably get involved, Joyce. I mean, we always talk. You're no Wally and a Beaver when it comes to beating people to death because you take damage. You know what? Let's not fight this time. Oh, you bleeding? Much more interested in helping you out. I'm fed, willing, and able to help. If you'll take me, think fast. You have places to be. No. He's a 4157. If Jeffrey would not have been a terrible pickup. I'm glad we decided not to fight Jeffrey, though. With a 7 strength, he would have ruined our shit. Might have been nice to get him in the bunker, but we just don't have the oxygen capacity for it. I'm sorry, Jeffrey. We can't support you. I will take your gasoline. We're straight up out of places to store food unless we want to get rid of something else. I'm not sure what we would possibly get rid of. We could get rid of this yeah, you know what? I'm taking 2 food over a transistor. I can't eat a transistor. Well, it's not true. I mean, I suppose you could eat a transistor, but I can't imagine it would be particularly nourishing. And also, I got to imagine it would carve up your intestines something fierce, and that your next bowel movement would be fairly unpleasant as well. Small house, yeah, George, you can check that out. Take everything that's not nailed down. And it's also where we're going to wrap up this episode. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot. And if you'd like to see Beaver get over his bout of intestinal misfortune and get back out into the wasteland killing like he should be, might consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes of Sheltered every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Beaver and Wally will be back out killing as soon as it stops raining. Rest assured. In the meantime, Wally's going to take a little nap now, and so am I. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.